Hello.
Hey Mario, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien. How are you, me?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Rabbi.
Hi, Kenny. Okay, we are on Testament Aleph 9.
Well, Ernie,
Yes.
before I forget, tomorrow you'll have to host.
Tomorrow we're going to do it. Tomorrow we're going to learn at 8:00.
Yeah, but I can't. So if you can, at the end, if you can just stop the recording and close the program.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we said that if you offered some of the Korban Chagigah on one day, you could not offer more on the next day. Lo yishon al shaloi gomar. That's only if the day isn't what caught. That means let's say you had 10 animals to offer and the sun set early before you could offer all of them. Aval Gomar, if that's in fact what happened, Choizer Makriv, you could be Makriv the remaining Korbanos the next day. My Gomar, Ilamer Gomar Korbanos. If you're talking about the word Gomar meant you finished your Korbanos, my Makriv, then there's nothing left to be Makriv. Ella, we're talking about Shaloi Gomar Hayom. That means, let's say you had another 3 hours in the day and you had 3 Korbanos, you had 10 Korbanos, you'd offered 7. And you have 3 left. Now you have time in the day to offer them. Now, if you didn't offer them, then tomorrow you cannot offer them. Aval Gomar Ayom. But if you had 10 korbanos and you only got to offer 5 of them, and then the day ended, Choizer Makriv, you could be Makriv the other 5 the next day. That's the halacha. Mishalei Chag b'yontav harishon shel Chag. You're supposed to bring the Korban Chagigah the first day. Let's say you didn't. So there's tashlumim. Choygig is kol haregel. You can bring it the next 7 days of Sukkot. Yontav Achron Shel Chag, and also Shmini Atzeres. Even though technically Shmini Atzeres is a regel b'fnei atzmo, it's considered tashlumim of the first day. However, over a regel v'loy Chag, if the Yontav passed and you didn't do it on the Yontav, then eno chai v'achriyu, so you can't bring it anymore. And al zenemar me'uvat lo yuchal litkon. This is an example of something that is bad that can't be fixed. The chesron lo yuchal limanot, a deficiency that cannot be replaced. No, he gives a different shot. What's ezeu muvat shenichol litakin ze abala erva? Person had relations with one of the prohibited relations, v'holim mena mamzer, and then there's a mamzer because you can't correct a mamzer. So it's a problem that can't be corrected. Because if you're a gana for a gazlan, you can always return it. So it's not an avla that can't be corrected. He has a different shot that this mu'uvat lo yichal taken has to be talking about somebody who was good in the first place and then went bad. And then they says a Talmid Chacham apart from the Torah. You have a Talmid Chacham who left Torah, so he's something that can't be corrected. Now, Minon Amili, that you have tashlumim the rest of Yontif if you didn't bring the first day. Amar Rav Yechim Shem Rav Yishmael. Nemar atzeres b'shvi shel Pesach. It says, by shvi shel Pesach atzeres lashem. The nemar atzeres b'shmini shel Chag. It uses the word atzeres b'shmini shel Chag as well. Make a hekesh. Ma'ala halal tashlum. Just like over there, the seventh day of Pesach, the atzeres of Pesach. You can bring tashlumim if you didn't bring the korban chagigah on the first day of Pesach. Avkam tashlumim. So Shmini Atzeres is also tashlumim for the first day of Yom Tov. And you should know, says the Gemara, mufne. In order to learn a hekesh that can't be asked questions on, the hekesh has to be free and clear. That means, hi Harold, the word that is used in context is unnecessary. Then you have a word that's mufne, free and clear, that can be learned a hekesh free and clear. Then you can't ask the kasha. And the Gemara says, mufne di lav mufne mifra. Because if this hekesh wasn't a mufne hekesh, you'd be able to ask a kasha, malish v'shel pesach shekenin acholok mishel foinav. You can't learn from shvi shel pesach shmi atzeres because on Pesach, every day the korbanos are exactly the same. So therefore, you can see that the shvi could be a tashlumim for the first day. The problem is, the every day of Sukkot is different, and Shmini Atzeres is certainly different from the one before it. So lai afnoi mufne.
Ernie, Shmini Atzeret is a completely different chag.
Yes, but Rashi says that even though it's considered a regel b'fnei atzmo, it's a tashlumim for the day. The first Rashi. It's not a different chag. In Pazer Kashav, in 6 things, the Gemara goes through Pazer Kashav, it has unique characteristics, but otherwise it's connected to Chag HaSukkos. So for Pazer, Reish is regel b'fnei atzmo. It's got its own Shechianu. It's got its own.
We don't do lulav. We don't. There's so many things. How can it be?
I know, but because it's connected, because it's right. We know for the first 7 days of Sukkot, Klal Yisrael brings 70 korbanos for the Shivim Ha'umos, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
Yeah.
Then comes Shmini Atzeres, and Hashem says, you know what? I had a yontif with them. Now I'm going to bring one par for Klal Yisrael. So hashkafically, they're connected. They're connected.
Okay, got it.
And it's good kasha. And Rashi says clear, Afal gav the regel of ne'atzmo, who havi tashlumin l'rishon. So we have to explain. So these are some of the explanations I have why they're connected. It's not the okay. Then it says, Michte, my atzeres. Why is it mufne? The word atzeres means atzur ba'asiyas malacha. Stop doing work. Why do you need that? Aksiv lo sasa malacha. And it says don't do work. Atzeres because rachman alamali. So in a chanami shma min alafnui. It's unnecessary, and therefore it's free and clear to make the hekesh. Now another Tanya, Ma'aseh Mehacha, the Tanya. V'chagoisem oso chag l'Hashem shivas yomim. Yachol yecho yigvolech kol shiva Talmud lomer oso. Oso atachogeg, v'i atachogeg kol shiva. You should preferentially bring the korban chagigah on the first day of Yom Tov. Imkei lama never shiva. L'tashlumim. The other 7 days are tashlumim to Yom Rishon. Uminayin shel chag Yom Tov Rishon shel chag shechok yivolches kol haregel Yom Tov Achron. The first in Gemara it says that how do I know that if I don't bring the korban chagigah on the first day of Sukkot, I can bring it all of Chol HaMoed and Yom Tov Achron. Talmud Loimar. So that comes to include Shmini Atzeres, which is also in Chodesh Hashvi. Maybe you can bring it on Chodesh Shvi even after Shmini Atzeres. Now there's a machlokas, which I'm not going to go into here. Gave a shear on this once, Tikkun Leil Shvuas. Technically, Shmini Atzeres is a one-day yontif. Just like Shavuos is a one-day yontif, and as you can bring Tashlumim after Shavuos 6 days, there are those that hold that Shmini Atzeres has the same din, and therefore the 6 days after Shmini Atzeres, you can also bring Tashlumim. The other opinion holds based on this Gemara that no, that there's a special drasha also. Now, what is that a machlokas that practically is relevant for us? Whether you say Tachanun, the last 7 days or 6 days of Tishrei. So we know in Nisan, we don't say Tachanun the whole month. But in Tishrei, we don't say Tachanun between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. We do say Tachanun in Aseret Yemei Tshuva up till Yom Kippur. And then the question is, do you say Tachanun after Shmini Atzeres? Those that hold that there's Tashlumim, even for 6 days after Shmini Atzeres, hold that there's no Tachanun even then. Those that hold that you don't bring Tashlumim, hold that there is Tachanun. And the Yeshiva Shevelt, like Rabbi Krause at Young Israel, they say Tachanun those days. Chassidus don't. It's based on this machlokas. Okay. My Tashlumim, that all 7 days following the first day, including Shmini Atzeres. Whoa, it's hot. 1 second. It's very warm down here. Sorry. The Tashlumim they're all Tashlumim of the first day. Rabbi Shai Omer Tashlumim Zelazed, no. The second day is Tashlumim of the first day. The third day is Tashlumim of the second day. The fourth day is Tashlumim of the third day. My binayu, what's nafkamin in halacha? Person was lame on the first day, got healed on the second day. Since he wasn't roy on the first day, and all of the other days are tashlumim for the rishon, there's no chiyuv tashlumim. Rabbi Shaya omer tashlumim zelazeh. So there would be tashlumim in the case of somebody who was chiger b'yom rishon and mispashed. Frag the Gemara, Rav Yechon Hachi. Rav Yechon, I'm going to show you, didn't say this thing because V'amar Chizkiah. We have a din by a nazir that if you're supposed to count 30 days naziris. Let's say on day 15 he becomes tamei, so he has to stop the naziris. He has to count 7 days. On the 8th day, he brings korbanos. Now, if you are metame on the 8th day, since he was mischayev, bringing a korban already, you don't get to bring one korban for 2 tumas. You got to start a new count. If you became Tomid, let's say on the 7th day, so then you have to add you have to count another 7 days, but you only wouldn't bring korban for both stretches of Tumah. Now, what if you became Tomei on the 8th day, but the 8th day starts from the night before? So, Chizkiah Omar, Nitma Bayom Mevi. If he became Tomei the morning of the 8th day, since he was already Roy to bring the korban at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he didn't, and now he's Tomei again, technically, he now has to bring a second korban. But if he was Tomei Balayla the night before, Eina Mevi. Because the Laila is not a time to bring the korban. So we see, Afal Gav de Loy Roy Le Korban, Yeshul Tashlumin. Not like what Rav Yochanan said, that if he's not Roy, There is no tashlumim. Here Rav Yochanan says he's not roy, but there is tashlumim. That's the kasha of the Gemara. Rav Yochanan says even if it was Tomei the night of, he brings another korban, brings a second korban. Even though he's not roy, since it's already the 8th day, it's considered that he could bring. Don't bring me a raya from Tumah. Because, for example, if somebody's not roy to bring the korban Pesach on Pesach Rishon, you can bring it Pesach Sheni. But if you're nidcha because of something else, not Tumah, there isn't tashlum. So hanich lamanda amar Pesach Sheni tashlum derishonu. How do you view Pesach Sheni? Fine. Those that say that Pesach Sheni is a tashlum, then you have a teretz to Rav Yochanan. El lamanda amar Sheni regal of the atzmahu. Pesach Sheni has nothing to do with tashlumim. It's its own yontiv. Michael Amemar. El amar of Papa Ksav Rav Yochanan laila ena mechusar zman. The reason why Rav Yochanan says that if you come Tomei at night, the night of the 8th, you can bring in, you have to bring a second korban, because Laila is not considered mechusar zman, even though technically you can't bring a korban at night. But he was technically roy la'akriv osoni, because it's in the 8th day. It's not, Laila is not considered like your mechusar zman. So afraid the Gemara. I'll still show you that he doesn't hold of this. A zav who brings a korban if he sees 3 seminal emissions. And the same thing, he has to count 7 clean days. The night of the 8th, and the 8th, he has to bring a korban. If he became a zav again, he has to bring a second korban. So it depends. If he saw the first zivus at night and the 2 of them the next day, so then maybe. Then he has to bring a second korban on the Tumah Shniya. But shtayim balayla, achas bayom. But if he only had 2 re'iyos at night and only 1 in the day, no, maybe. He doesn't bring, because the second re'iyah at night is not considered, because it's not the roy to bring a korban. So we see that Rav Yochanan doesn't hold of this concept. If there is no chisaron of Laila being mechusar zman, that even the second re'iyah at night would also allow him to bring the second korban. Rav Yochanan is speaking only according to the one that says Laila mechusar zman. No, it's not pshita, because shtayim bayom v'achas balayla itzrachal. It's still a chiddush. If one of the re'iyas were at night and 2 in the day, I would have thought Sagadai Techamina Katachta the Rav Sheshet Ravidi. That's like the kasha that Ravidi asked Masachta Kritus, that you shouldn't differentiate Kamash Blanket Rav Yosef. We go like Rav Yosef, that the re'iyah rishoina of zivus is only a balkari, and it's not. It doesn't contribute to 3 re'iyas of zivus. If the yontif passed and you didn't bring the korban chagigah and yontif, you don't. You're stuck. This is an example of an aver that can't be corrected. Hi lihimonos. What's the word lihimonos? Lihimalos meboile. He shouldn't be able to fill it. You know what a group of chaverim sign up to do a mitzvah, and one of the chaverim don't join. When they do the mitzvah, he's forever going to be out of it. You didn't say Kriya Shema in the morning. Well, you have no way to correct that. Or Kriya Shema at night. Oh, Shabitel Tfilah Shel Shachris or Tfilah Shel Harvest. Yeah, you're going to tell me there is Tashlumim. But that Tfilah of Shachris will never come back. Like we said, group of people decide to do a mitzvah, he didn't sign up. Armalei bar hey leila ma'idchsiv b'shavtem u'reisem bein tzadik l'rasha bein oived Elohim asher lo avado. In Malachi it says you'll do tshuva. You'll see the difference between a tzaddik and a rasha, between somebody who worships Hashem, somebody who doesn't worship him. Break the Gemara. Hainu tzaddik, hainu oived Elohim, hainu rasha, hainu asher lo avado. They're the same things. Armalei avado v'lo avado. Tarvayat tzadiki gmirin. We're talking about tzadikim gmurim. One is called Oived Hashem, one is not. What's the difference? One guy was chazard is learning 100 times. The other chazard is learning 101 times. That's the difference the Gemara says between an Oived Elokim and La'asher Lo Avado. What do you mean? You call him that because he's lacking. One guy did 101, the other guy did 100, and he's a lo avado. Go and rent a donkey. Asar parsi bezuzah. You rent a donkey to go 10 miles, it's $1. Chadasar parsi betrezuzi. Once you go 11 miles, it's already $2. So there's a huge world of difference. Armelei Eliyahu lebar heihi. Eliyahu Navi said to Bar heihi. The army lo Rabbi Lazar. Some say it's to Rabbi Lazar. I'm going to craft you. I didn't choose you with silver. Kodesh Baruch Hu checked all the midas toivos. The best midas is poverty. If someone's poor, they won't do averis. Poverty is good for Jews, like a reddish, streak on a white horse. Rav Shimon ben Nasser Omer, "Ezu muvas lo yuchal iskan, ze abal ha'erev v'hoy mimenu mamzer." A naver that can't be corrected. You came onto an erva, you had a mamzer. Can't fix that. Mashma hoylid in lo hoylid lo. That's only if he was born. Adam, you kidnap a person. You can return it. You steal from somebody, you can return. It doesn't say that she gave birth to a mamzer. Just had relations with a married woman, and now that woman cannot live with her husband. Nitra ben oilam, he's pushed away forever, and it can't be corrected. They don't say go check a camel if it's kosher or a chazer. Go check a sheep. You got to start off with a kosher animal. So what is this like? He started off good. We ended up bad. Like a bird hopping away from its nest, so is a Talmid Chacham who hops away from Torah. What did my fathers did bad? So anyways, we brought a kasha that it's a problem even if the Yeshizis was not moilid. Loy kasha kan b'choyse pnuya, a sister who's single. She's not Yeshizis. So the bia is a chet, and it creates mamzeris. But if she didn't give birth to a mamzer, there's tikkun because of tshuva. But Beishasish, even if she was not moiled a mamzer, you not prevented her from ever living with her husband. That's something that can never be corrected. We'll learn this tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to learn at 8:00 in the morning.
Okay.
Shkoyach, Yoni. Shkoyach.